Ben flashed the light from side to side a few times. The attic was empty. No visible signs of a squirrel infestation. "Hard to tell," Ben said. "I need to get a ventilation mask before I spend any more time up here. Could be mold. I'm coming down." A chill tickled Ben's wrists as he reached for the first step. The cold froze him. He tried to speak, but something held his mouth shut. A flurry of dust spun around Ben's face as if a strong wind approached, but the air behind him remained still. The dust took the shape of a small child. Ben struggled to scream, but he was completely paralyzed. A little girl with a dark veil over her face stood above Ben as he crouched. The girl wore a white nightgown, soaked in blood. The flesh of her arms was pale, almost translucent. She lifted the veil. Her eyes were deep black holes. She placed a finger against her lips, a gesture for Ben to stay silent. "Ben, are you okay?" Norma asked. The little girl placed her fingers against her lips again and smiled, giving Ben a glimpse of the horror that lurked behind her lips. She had no teeth, her gums were black, and her tongue was fork-shaped. It danced around her index finger like two tiny serpents. "You're not okay, Ben," the little girl said. "You'll never be okay again." Ben watched in helplessness as his feet lifted from the wooden floor. He floated just to the edge of the attic opening. "Tag, you're it," the little girl said. She giggled and placed her hand on Ben's chest. A numbing sensation bit into Ben's fingers and toes. It spread across his body until he felt as if he were being devoured by fire ants. The girl reached into Ben's chest. Pain made him suck in the dust as an invisible force clutched his heart. The force tightened its grip. Ben struggled to breathe. It lessened its grip. He took a few deep, desperate breaths, inhaling more dust before the grip tightened again. Something shoved him from the attic. He tumbled down the ladder, nearly crushing Norma, who fell against a wall. "Ben!" Ben didn't answer. The sound of a loud crash jarred Sarah, who lay on the couch downstairs napping while watching cartoons. She sat up and saw the teddy bear that Ben threw in the trash on the pillow next to her head. A little girl's voice whispered, "Friends keep secrets." "We are not friends. You told me you wouldn't hurt anyone else. You lied," Sarah said, stepping behind the couch to put some distance between the mist forming in front of her. Jessica no longer looked like an innocent little girl. Her face was a blur. One moment it was a child, the next something that resembled a snake with a flickering tongue sending spittle in Sarah's direction. She bent down to shield herself. The room filled with an odor that made Sarah dry heave. "Ben!" Norma screamed from upstairs. Jessica giggled. "You're right. I lied." The television changed channels at a rapid pace. It stopped at a channel where a little girl who resembled Jessica before she turned into a monster was running through the woods, screaming as a man chased her. He jogged at ease, just keeping the girl in his sight. She turned back. He grew closer. The shadow of something with huge horns overtook her. The screen went black. Norma hobbled down the stairs. Each movement sent shock through her aching ankle. Adrenaline hadn't kicked in. The pain made her nauseous. She lost her balance and slammed against the wall, grabbing the banister to save herself from a tumble. The commotion caused Jessica to disappear. The smell lifted. The television switched back to cartoons. "Where the hell's my phone?" Norma asked. "I'm scared," Sarah said. "Honey, your dad had an accident." Norma took a deep breath, trying to keep a semblance of composure. "Help Mommy find her phone." Sarah searched the room for Norma's phone before turning back to the couch. The phone was on the pillow in the exact spot the stuffed bear was earlier. "Here," Sarah said, handing the phone to Norma, who dialed 911. A sensation latched to the back of Sarah's neck like a spider crawling on her skin.